Faces looking similar, bodies looking similar, the same curves, same proportions, same silhouette. But how did we really get here? Some stuck in the belief that their style would not work if their body doesn't look a certain way. With most believing that their style is not great because they haven't attained the perfect body type. So everyone's getting work done, trying to chase a silhouette they believe would unlock their style. But you see, the most stylish people in the world are not those with the perfect body. They are those who have understood how to dress their current silhouette. There is no competition when your purpose is divinely assigned. Comparison is an illusion created by fear. Stay rooted in your lane, guided by intention, grounded in gratitude. When you operate from abundance, you attract everything that's meant for you effortlessly. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Elevate with Mama Kesh, a space where style, story and soul come together to help you elevate into the person you are becoming. I am Mama Kesh, your host, and on today's episode, style is not locked in your body type. It is locked in when you understand how to dress your current silhouette. Stay tuned. Fashion trends have convinced an entire generation that your style only works if you have a certain body type. A snatched waist, perfect curves, a trendy silhouette. Unfortunately, that same belief is the exact reason why so many people struggle with their style. Because your style isn't locked in what your body shape looks like. It's not about changing your body. It's about understanding your silhouette and dressing to complement it. That's how you unlock your style game. The truth is, every era has its own beauty standards. In the 1920s, it was the boyish flapper silhouette. In the 1950s, the hourglass silhouette got introduced. In the 90s, the supermodel longline silhouette dominated that era. But today's era has something different. A digitally amplified silhouette, a body type repeated across all social media algorithms, filters, and cosmetic procedures. High hip curves, a tiny waist, full lips, smooth jaw lines, contoured faces, and every other thing that goes with it. When everyone begins to chase the same template, individuality, unfortunately, slowly disappears. Not because people want to actually look identical, but because we've all been trained to believe that our style game can only get unlocked when we attained that template body type. And unfortunately, that's where everyone's getting stuck. Here's the truth most stylists would have told you. Style is not about changing your body. It's about understanding your silhouette and dressing for it. Clothes naturally interact with our body's natural lines. So your shoulders, your hips, your waist, and even your height. The greatest stylists work with those lines. However, social media now sends a whole different message. It will tell you, fix your body first, and style would follow. But it really doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, that belief has fueled a whole big industry of cosmetic surgery, with everyone trying to reshape the narrative or their own narratives to fit a certain type. And unfortunately, the most popular one of all, the BBLs. So let's go down memory lane with the evolution of the hourglass silhouette. The hourglass silhouette, which is a smaller waist with fuller hips and bust, has actually been around for a very long time, over centuries and centuries. It's been one of the most persistent beauty ideals over the time. But what has really changed has been how people have tried to achieve this look over the years. Let's break it down. In the 1800s, during the Victorian era, the hourglass silhouette created an entire look, mostly through clothing. So you would actually get that hourglass silhouette mostly through how clothing was worn. So women would wear tightly laced corsets that dramatically cinched their waist, while their wide skirts and bustles added volume to the hips. So the body itself wasn't naturally or permanently altered. Instead, fashion acted like an architecture that shaped the body through garments. Then that evolved into the Hollywood glamour era in the 1950s. After World War II, the hourglass silhouette returned yet again. So in 1947, Christian Dior introduced the famous New Look era, which emphasized yet again a tiny waist and a fuller skirt, yet with less technicality as the 1800s had done. He did it in a very light but practical way, which invited so many women to want to try the look. So your celebrities at the time, like Marilyn Monroe, helped popularize that look, which was really very popular. Yet again, the shape was created mostly by tailoring, structured dresses, and undergarments, not necessarily a permanent body modification. That again evolved into the BBL silhouette, which then came with the social media era. Well, history has written itself yet again. Yes, the hourglass silhouette has evolved over the years from the 1800s right down now to the social media era, creating fashion and styling in a specific way. However, previously that was done again mostly through clothes, tailoring, and undergarments. However, culture has shifted to permanent modifications. Permanent modifications that have come yet again with an hourglass silhouette, however, have brought a greater risk, with some risk being permanent. I know we must have heard about so many of the tragic situations that happen with some people going under the knife to achieve a certain silhouette. While it's actually okay for everyone to do what they want to do with their bodies, but we have to be honest to ourselves. Is really getting that silhouette really what we need to unlock our style game? Unfortunately, we had this news recently of a very pretty lady over in Nigeria losing her life yet again to this procedure. Because so many have actually lost their lives to it. I actually think it's one of the deadliest types of cosmetic surgeries. Again, is it really worth it? And unfortunately, most of us still unlock that body type and still struggle to gain style. So what was the point? We have a lot of fancy looking BBL aunties with no style. It's no shade. It's just the truth. And that's because they chased the body type thinking that was going to unlock their style game. However, they forgot that for every silhouette, you need to dress it accordingly to actually be stylish. So why don't we start by actually learning how to dress our silhouettes? Understanding how to dress your silhouette is really about learning how clothes interact with your body's natural lines. Understanding how a cloth would interact with your shoulders, your hips, your waist, and even your height is the key to understanding how to unlock your style through your silhouette. So now I'm going to give you guys 4 simple steps often used to help people dress their silhouettes in a more confident way. Number 1, identify your natural silhouette. You might ask, well, how do I go about doing that? Before actually choosing outfits, you want to understand your body's overall outline. What lines are you working with? You need to actually understand that first. So common silhouettes usually include an hourglass, pear shape, apple, rectangle, and an inverted triangle. Why you don't necessarily have to keep all these names in mind, but you have to understand what each of these actually look like. If your hips are wider than your shoulders, which is a pear shape, you want to actually dress accordingly. So the step is really identifying what your silhouette looks like so that you can recognize your proportions and style them intentionally. Number 2, understand your vertical and horizontal lines. Yeah, I know it sounds a lot like maths and trigonometry, but stay with me here. Clothes create visual lines that shape your silhouette in a specific way. So an example, vertical lines like long coats, monochrome outfits make you actually look or appear taller and slimmer. So if you're trying to look more toned up, you might want to gravitate towards vertical lines. Horizontal lines on the other side, like crop jackets, belts, would actually emphasize widths or curves. Shoulder structures would balance your hips or your torso. Waist definitions would create or enhance your hourglass shape. That's if you have one already, or if you're trying to create one. So understanding your vertical and your horizontal lines are quite important. Clothes don't actually change your body. They change the lines people see. Keep that in mind. Number 3, balance your proportions. This is very important. The goal of a silhouette usually is to achieve some kind of visual balance. So if you're pear-shaped, for example, add volume to your shoulders, maybe a jacket, statement sleeves. If you're an inverted triangle, add volume to the lower body, A-line skirts, wider pants. If you're rectangle, create curves with belts, peplum tops, or even layering. Balancing your proportion is very important. If not, you end up actually looking like a clown and nothing really seems to be working. Balancing proportions would help outfits look intentional and harmonized. Number 4, use fit and fabric to sculpt the silhouette. So many people would wear the same outfit, but actually end up looking differently. And that's because the ones that actually nail the outfits will be those that have understood how the fit and the fabric work in favor of their silhouette. And that's really very important. Understanding the right fabrics and the right fits that work with your silhouette is really key to a visually pleasing style look. Structured fabrics like denim, wool, tailoring holds shape and sculpts the body. Again, if you're going for something powerful, that's what you tend to go for. Things that add sculpture to your body. Soft fabrics like silk would follow your natural curves. So if you don't necessarily like your natural curves, you don't want to enhance them with those types of soft fabrics. But knowing where to put the soft fabrics is also very important. So often the difference between average style and great style is simply adjusting the fit. The right fabric and the right fit for the right silhouette unlocks the right magic for your style game. So style confidence does not come from having the perfect body shape. It comes from understanding how clothes interact with your silhouette. So those are your 4 steps. So please do yourself a favor. Don't be the BBL auntie who still has no style. Learn your silhouettes and dress appropriately for them so that your style game can get elevated. And for my new mommies, please do not fall in that trap. I know you might pick up your phone, scroll through social media, look at your favorite celebrity, pushing the bounce back culture with a flat stomach, dramatic curves, and a perfect silhouette just weeks after having her baby. But the truth, you rarely see the full picture. They have perfect personal trainers, nutritional teams, nannies, and actually also cosmetic surgeries in the background. For the everyday woman, that comparison can create a feeling of lack. So please do not put yourself through that trauma, because recovery after childbirth isn't a race. And while your body is healing, a simple tip to help you navigate this very confusing time with your silhouette is to let your silhouette breathe. Finding the right fit that allows your silhouette to breathe really helps during postpartum. Do what works for your body. If you want to waist train, waist train. If you're unable to waist train, that's still fine. If today's episode struck a nerve, please go ahead and share with family and friends. And if you're interested in understanding how to actually dress your silhouette, drop a comment and we shall go on a step-by-step basis on how to understand how to dress every natural body line of yours so you stay away from the BBL trap. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.